as you can see, I have right now a Necchi. This is the BU Supernova. It's another machine that is, you know, not the same as the regular BU or the BU Mira, the BU Supernova. Fantastic, sleek machine, takes cams, and has a lot of interesting features. Fortunately, this one came with the manual, so it's easier to get around. If you have one of these, definitely track down the manual online, because this machine has a lot of complicated features that require the manual to really have reference. But big thing is the feed retraction on this machine is stuck, so the 3-position needle plate couldn't be rotated or removed easily. So I started by getting the needle plate out, and it is just filthy in here. Get a close-up of all the debris. If you own one of these, you need to make sure when you clean it to remove the whole needle plate, not just to like rotate it and pick at it, because this has a lot of debris from under the needle plate that I'm going to have to clean up and make sure and oil under there before I continue on. But I'm going to give this a complete check over and see what, see what I can do with it. It looks like it's in good shape, so I'm pretty sure that we'll have it working in no time. There, as you can see, big, just lumps of lint all over our feed dogs here, and then there's rust underneath the needle plate area, because lint and moisture can get up underneath the space. So I'm gonna grab a rag and wipe this out really good. I'm probably gonna grab the Dremel and brush out some of this rust with a puff, a little Scotch-Brite puff. Get that all cleaned up so that it can be oiled really thoroughly, and then I'll be able to take a look at how to reinstall the bracket for that 3-position needle plate. With quick wiping and cleaning with the Scotch-Brite, this big patch of rust is gone, and I'll be able to oil this pretty thoroughly. And then it's going to be easy to reinstall this plate. So this plate is held in on the center with this piece here, and then it's got a clip underneath that is released to lift the whole plate out, and that clip underneath also provides the spring that holds the plate down in place for each of its settings. Okay, so in the bottom here we can see there's a screw hole there, and this bracket, which has this shape on it, goes in, fits around like so, and then there's a screw with a shoulder on it like so. That needs to go in that screw hole. There we go. Alright. Make sure that the screw tightens like so, and then when all the pieces are in place, it's going to hold this tab up just like that, because this provides the spring to hold the plate down. Okay, with that spring on the bottom, we can put the needle plate back in place and then put the center peg in, and I applied a pretty liberal amount of sewing machine oil underneath the plate when I reinstalled it because of that rust, and that should help keep any water from collecting under there, or moisture displaced. And then with this in place, I'm going to have to hold with my finger and make sure that I get that hook on the back side to connect. Alright, as you can see, the underside of the Supernova BU is still very common, side-loading, class 15 style. Looks just like a Japanese machine, even though this is made in Italy, or the bottom of a regular 15. We've got the crank arm that moves this piece back and forth to run the crank on the shuttle driver. We got this big link here that provides our side-to-side motion from the vertical crank and matches it with the needle bar. Got our big long feed motion bracket on the bottom here. This link provides our forward and backward motion, and then on the front we've got this link and this lifter here that provides the up and down motion. This machine has a push button for the feed dog retraction, and this push plunger is plastic, and then it's got a lock that it twists to hold down so it doesn't pop back up, and it pushes on this pin, and this pin goes through a hole drilled in the casting. So there are two good spots where this mechanism would get really gummed up, and that is that there's a spring-loaded pin here that connects the lift and lower with the main lift bracket here, and then the space where it goes through the casting here. Both of these locations can get really gummed up easily. So if you have one of these and you can't get the feed to drop, make sure that you are loosening this pin and lubricating the pin in this barrel. The other thing you'll notice is it's got the Necchi transformer on it. This one is underneath, and then it's 12 volts AC runs up to the lamp. And it also uses the transformer to reduce the motor voltage for speed control. But it's hidden underneath the machine here instead of being part of the motor bracket on the back like earlier Necchi machines. Alright, continuing our inspection, the tensioner here seems like it's moving okay. I may disassemble this to clean it. The main presser foot tension here is pushed all the way down. Very common, a lot of people like to do that on older machines. It looks okay in here, and that lamp looks like it's, I don't know, we'll have to see if the lamp lights up. But let's see. When well, it does move. The needle bar moves, And I can feel the bottom moving, so that's good. Oh, and the needle position selector here is moving. And then this is, according to the manual, this is related to the cam section. And it's sort of turning, but it feels a little crunchy, so it doesn't feel like there's any resistance to it, but I'll definitely need to check carefully for any gum on here. And then this is our stitch length, and it is turning nicely, and our reverse button is working nicely. So let's see, how does the top come off? I guess we'll have to start investigating. Alright, there's at least one screw inside the cam door on this machine, so I'm going to have to get the hand wheel off and check to see if there's a screw under the other end here. I didn't see any inside the door by the lamp, but there are 2 screw holes here, but I don't. And this hand wheel is sticky, so I'm gonna get these two screws out of the cover on the motor and belt. And let's find out what we have to do to check our motor belt. Okay. Oh, well, the motor belt definitely needs fixing. I guess we'll just cut that off of there. Definitely have to get that out and clean it up. The whole, yeah. So yeah, this is definitely an old canvas belt, the original one. And as you can see, they've got a rubber core, and instead of cord inside the rubber core, they've got canvas wrapped around the outside, 3 or 4 layers, and that provides the reinforcement. And this motor is just filthy. So we'll be cleaning that out. Alright, I'm going to have to get a little bit of heat and I think rubbing alcohol on that hand wheel so that it'll come out. And then yeah, once I've got a little bit of heat and solvent in there, hopefully this will slide right off.